Hello and welcome. Jon Rognerud, founder of chaosmap.com, back at you here. We're live. I keep saying that because we are live. In fact, if you're watching on Facebook, we go live every day. But you may be coming in through the Media and Marketing Podcast. Thank you for that, by the way. If you're listening, then that's fine. That means it was recorded after the fact, but it's still very close because it's going out each day, right? So today's Thursday, coming at you from the Digital Marketing Center, our fancy studio here in Los Angeles, California. And we're trying to drop off some really juicy bits of data and information and blueprints and frameworks, workflows to help you grow your business. And today is super exciting because we are talking about how to attract the 7-8 figure businesses, right? The large clients that really have traction in the marketplace and that you can really help to get to the next level, right? And I was talking to somebody today exactly about this, and not only how to scale up their business, but how do you win the higher ticket clients, and not just higher ticket, but also established businesses, right? I mean, you're an established professional as a consultant, coach, a trainer, whatever, and you help businesses grow. But you have a lot of folks that come in through your funnel and they're not qualified. Well, I'm going to share with you what's working for us and how you can do the same, and also some ideas here that are a little bit different and perhaps anti-establishment, if I could even say that, sort of anti-industry or whatever, because there's a lot of hearsay in the marketplace. I mean, clearly we have enough information out there. I doubt you woke up this morning thinking, oh man, I need some more info. No, you need transformational information, right? Things that can really move you and push you to the next level. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And once again, thanks for joining. And hey, if you like the podcast, would you do me a favor? Just head on into, you're maybe on iTunes right now. Well, thank you. Just click the subscribe and also drop off a quick review. I would love it. And of course, it helps everything that we're doing and getting tractions online. So let's go through it. And one of the things I talk about a lot is simplicity, right? There's no need to make things more complex than they need to be. And we're going to look at a very simple model today, but a very powerful one that should not be dismissed as, hey, it's so simple, it probably doesn't work, right? Well, no, it does work, and it works very, very well. So I'm not going to go too deep on all the technology, but I'm going to talk a little bit about it, of course, because, when this comes up, we want to talk about, strategies, of course, and tactics, of course, right behind that. But ultimately, everything is set up from this one sort of point of entry to this framework, and that is, who is your target audience? Who are you exactly talking to, right? So if you have a strong message, a compelling offer, a unique situation, but you're just spreading that out to the world, well, you know what? You're going to get all kinds of riffraff, all and any of the above, right? And you're going to spend a lot of time to get through to the golden nuggets that hide within there, and you need to filter that out. And how do you do that very fast and from the get-go? Well, determining the audience is going to be critical for that. Right behind that comes the messaging, right? So you will create messages and copy in your creatives, combined with your creatives, I should say, that actually repel the type of folks that you don't want to come into your funnel. And as simple as that sounds, it can be complex. And that's why folks hire, expensive copywriters to get this done right. And I've interviewed some great copywriters on the podcast, so feel free to go back and listen to those and some of the strategies. But today I want to talk about that simple framework, as I mentioned, and how you can essentially not only get them into your funnel, how you can serve them through that funnel, so you provide great value and goodwill, all of that good stuff, but that you actually convert them through a process. And this is specifically for services-based businesses like professional services, right? So, of course, we want traffic. So now that I've come off my soapbox on the target audience and the messaging and the repel discussion, we really just need to get traffic. And of course, I'm simplifying some of these things because of time here, but also because I want you to get the basic principles in place before you get sort of into your analysis paralysis. We all go there, right? It's like, well, how about this? Well, I mean, this thing, yeah, I could see that, but how about this? Well, don't go there. Okay, let's just go with the workflow here, and we'll come back to that at another time. But here we go. First things first, traffic. We like to talk a lot about Facebook and Google here because that's what we do at the agency at chaosmap.com. Feel free to jump over there, set up a free appointment, no worries. But we want traffic, and we can get that through paid, social, and of course, organic means, well, both social and through search engines and email marketing in many other ways, through video marketing, you name it, right? So let's say for a moment that the issue is not the traffic. It will be the targeting, it will be the messaging, as I said, but let's just go with Facebook ads for the moment. So on the left here, and if you're looking, you'll see an ad. So the creative, here we have a picture of a nice family and a dog. That's more for an attention grabber than anything else, because we're not trying to, sell dog training courses here, but it creates an emotional bond and a trigger that people, stop the scrolling from, right? So that's number one, the traffic there. So assume that we have that to kind of dialed in, and we get them over to a registration page. That registration page is essentially a webinar, a webcast, where you further expound upon the benefits of joining and what they're going to receive. And again, this is not hype fest. This is real stuff, high integrity, high authenticity. You hear that a lot these days, right? Well, why wouldn't you? And you can set that up fairly easily through a product called leadpages.net. We use that. We have many others as well, but that's cool. So we got your Facebook ads rolling. The traffic's coming in. People are signing up. And again, we're not going to talk about conversion rates and what we need to optimize and A/B testing and all that. That gets too technical, too fast right now. So we're just going with the assumptions here. Traffic to a sign-up page. That's the webinar in this case. And they get the presentation either directly, sort of on demand, when they confirm that, right? So in step 3 here is, hey, thanks for joining. Here's your presentation. And there's some innovative ways in which you can get them to watch right there. And then, of course, you have their email as well. So you want to confirm it there. But also you can put a countdown timer on there. So, this page expires in X, watch now type of thing. But many different ways to get them to take action, right? And all along, though, you want to make very sure that they understand why this is different and why this is unique. Because I think you, again, didn't wake up this morning thinking, I need a webinar today. Gosh darn it. Coffee cup and a webinar, can't wait. Maybe not. But you will join a webinar and watch something that is exactly in your wheelhouse, meaning your perfect client, right? So once you have this, you'll be able to take them through your authority, your unique differentiators, and your unique abilities that can help them scale. And all throughout these steps here, we've done a good job, again, basing on the assumption here of filtering them out through the ad copy and the creatives for getting the exact perfect, 7, 8 figure, 9 figure business into our funnel, so that when we make the presentation, it speaks volumes to that audience, right? So you're not like, here's how to sell a $37 ebook in the next 30 days, right? Or here's how to make $10,000 a month. That's people who are just wanting to try and make some more money. We're talking about big business here. So your messaging needs to speak to that. Now, setting up a webinar like this and talking about how we structure it, that's also another discussion. But I want you to just stay with the framework here and our workflow, and we can get back to how to structure that in another broadcast. So for now, we're actually on the webinar. They're watching. And let's assume that they go through it. By the way, all of this can be tracked, and how far they watched, 50%, 25%, whatever it has to be. And we can see where we might optimize and tune that webinar, etc. Some great technologies out there today. So ultimately, they watch the whole thing in this simple example, and it's the perfect client. Yeah, they want to take it to the next step. Well, at a particular point in the presentation, a button will appear. Click here to set an appointment. That takes you over to an application calendar, right? So we're into that application sequence now, where they will apply to join you, but they have to first set up a time. And so what we do is we provide that through different tools. Schedule Once is what we use. And it was merged with Once Hub, but it's the same thing essentially. And now you can select a time that works. So the client says, hey, great, next Thursday at 11 a.m. Cool, we're in. Well, not quite yet, because next, and this is the big piece here, let's say that the right message spoke from the ad to the lander to the presentation. They booked an appointment, and you're thinking, wow, I've done a great job at the top end here with my messaging and positioning. And so let's just book them and talk. Well, no, you want to scrutinize further here. This is where you add an application form after the calendar. And this is really your criteria, your business criteria for getting inside your empire and for you to help them, where they essentially either, qualify or disqualify themselves because they may have thought that everything seems to fit. They got the calendar spot, they're excited, but now they're essentially just sort of, and I hate to use the word tire kickers, because obviously these high-end businesses have a purpose, not for just, a little bit more information. They're looking for real transformation. So, you might assume that, hey, they're going to come in and be valid. Well, no, you might actually have somebody who works as a second or third in line at a big company who's out there just fishing for more information to bring to their executives, right? So you want to really know that you're speaking to the right person. That's where you actually get, again, confirmation about their business, the website, the URL, things that you can look up and see online, even a Facebook page. There's certain criteria, but really that's sort of the meta information. The real juicy stuff happens when you start asking about current monthly revenue. What is it? What is the target monthly revenue? So if somebody types current monthly revenue of $5,000 and target monthly revenue is $50,000, you have to look at all of it, but right there could be a big red flag. And so you may choose or not choose to pursue that appointment. But clearly a great way for filtering out. But it doesn't stop there, because now you need to ask them, okay, great, we got the monthly and the target. Why haven't you reached that yet? And you keep that as an open box so they can type in freely, and you'll have things like need to focus more on ads, very simple stuff. Other people will write more about their life story and, things behind the scenes that are going on, or, things that are operationally not, it's multitudes of questions answers to that question. But it is pretty revealing, right? And again, when you start combining these questions, you can determine pretty quickly if that person is qualified or not. And here's where it gets even better, right? So you ask, how much do you spend on advertising right now, or marketing, in general? So if they have a monthly revenue of 5,000, they want to go to 50,000, and they spend, $500 on ads, the flags are starting to stack up here, right? Now, if somebody's making 100,000 monthly revenue, the target is $500,000 monthly revenue. And the why not reached yet is some operational context issue, and how much they spend on ads is simply low because they're doing other things in the market and already established. That might actually be good, right? Because you can help them scale up with whatever's working, because they have a sales process actually in place. Well, then using paid ad strategies can really elevate this, right? And then next question here is, what business are you in, right? And so that helps you to determine, hey, a lot of these other variables seem to fit. They watched the webinar, excited to set up this appointment, and they are in a business that you don't serve. Well, you can still talk to them, but this is a perfect opportunity for you to share in your network and actually refer them out, right? So all of this, and again, there's more questions to be asked here. I didn't want to share all of them because frankly, these are the most important outside of the meta information. But here you have a real chance to serve and to scale up. I just spoke to somebody yesterday, has a huge business established already, and they're looking for more resources. They skipped a number of these questions, which is a perfect example of why you should not scrutinize to the point where, well, I'm not going to talk to anybody unless they fit a certain profile. Just 2 weeks ago, we had, it was 3 people that came in that actually didn't seem to fit the profile. The questions were, and by the way, they're not going to always answer truthfully, right? Especially when it comes to revenue. So you actually want to serve them. You want to speak to them. And this is how you fill up your calendar, obviously. And yes, not every call is going to be a sort of a closed sale, quote unquote, right? But the idea that you're serving is essential here, because that's your integrity as well. And you know what? There's going to be folks that are rising here in this marketplace that might not have been a good time now, but it will be in 6 or 12 months. They will remember you for all the great things you did. Plus, you get a lot of insight to what's going on in the marketplace, what people are facing, ideas, etc. You may connect with them later. You may have them join a Facebook group and provide more value. we're in a very small community when you think about it, when we have all this online stuff going on for us. All this technology has brought us closer than ever, right? So think about this. Think about using a simple structure like this and filter them out through the very top of funnel and throughout, of course, but also certainly at the end here, because you could set up a system like this, get very excited about the lead flow and the calendar setting, only to spend a lot of time with low quality leads, essentially. So if you want to build a high-end business and talk to businesses who really are on the ball, well, this is the way to do it. And this model works, and it's been proven again and again. And we use this model exclusively for ourselves, but also for clients. And of course, we get referrals and such. But ultimately, this is where you need to go. So if you like this and you want to talk more about how to do some of these things, set them all up and get the copy and the testing and the A/B of ads and landers, and really create a structure and a workflow with tracking and pixels and analytics that you can run KPIs and metrics from, well, then go to chaosmap.com, chaosmap.com. And that is the pitch for the day here. And I hope you've enjoyed this. Always enjoy making these, and it's exciting, I have to tell you. If you're as excited as I am today, you'll get cracking on some of these things and put some things into test. And again, if you're already an established business, we want to talk to you. We can really help you scale and take this to the next level. All right, well, happy days to you all, and I'll talk to you soon. Jon out. Take it easy, all.